Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Companion to the Companion. It's a special episode here today with Sam and I. We're going to be discussing a live one. And hello, Sam. Pardon me. Hello. Welcome to our first very special episode. Mini episode.
Yeah, we're going to sneak this one in between the other two. It's going to be some subterfuge. Yeah, I'm really excited. I think as we finished Fall 94 and we're just kind of tying the year up, the next episode will be our last show in this incredible year of Phish. And I think discussing Phish's first live record is a must. I think it's a must for fans. It's a must for us. And we've been talking about it, and now we get to do it. I'm excited.
Yeah, it was a challenging task. It required a lot of listening, but not painful listening. Very pleasurable listening. Pleasurable listening. So this is how we're doing it.
Very much so.
We're basically going to recreate it in the way that we would have liked to have had it been released. It'll be the same song timings, or not song timings, but disc timings. We limited it to 70 minutes, and we did 2 discs. I'm assuming we both left some stuff on there and added a couple things. I don't want to presume, but that's what I did. And we will discuss it, among other things. Sam, where did you buy a live one?
Where did I first buy a live one? I was just discussing this with my wife, who was in high school with me when a live one came out, which was 95. That was my senior year when I graduated. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember. I knew I bought it when it came out. I remember the red and blue CDs. Mm-hmm. I remember everything about it. And I remember kind of not understanding the super long songs yet, right, but still loving the fact that I'd spent a few years of my life listening to hissy, shitty, analog, 7th generation copies of live recordings, and suddenly we had this beautiful, multi-tracked, really well-mixed recording.
Yeah.
Currently, I stream or I listen to it on vinyl. I bought the vinyl release and love the way that sounds as well. Again, got a new, fresh remaster with the vinyl pressing. Nice. And over the course of the first handful of years this came out, it really changed my life until we could start to get better copies of things. This was a go-to.
Right.
And there was so much lore about it that I've learned. And I think in us talking, we, going into Fall 94, we kept saying, well, this song's on a live one, that song's on a live one. Should we recreate a live one? Would that be the best thing to do? So I think it was really cool for us to pick a lot of songs, sit down and listen, individual tracks and try and figure out what the band was thinking.
Yeah.
Why they chose these.
I agree. And I think in a lot of ways, I know why. Like, I get it. Like, I really do understand the decision-making process. I feel like I do, at least.
Yeah.
But I will say that over the years, I would listen to it and think, man, I wish they would have chose a different version. So it was nice to be able to amend it a little bit. And I couldn't agree more that, when I first got it, or I think the cool thing about this live album is that the songs that I loved when I first got it are not the songs that I love now, or, I still like them, but they're not my go-tos. My go-tos on a live one took me, the Hood, the Tweezer, took me a little work to figure them out. Even the Stash, I was a pretty new fan then. So only about a year in, and I actually got it at Music Trader in Pacific Beach, San Diego. And I used to frequent there I used to go there every day because I used to just live on the same block as it and be like, did they get any new Phish bootlegs? And I remember buying the 12/29/94, which we'll be discussing next time. I bought it was like $55 in 94, or it would have been early 95 when I bought it. And then I remember when I went in there and I saw a live one, I didn't know they were coming out with a live album. And I was like, oh my God, it's so cheap. It was like $21.99 or $22.99 for the double disc. And I'm like, this is amazing. And like a perfect noob, I ran home and I listened to the Bouncin' and the Yum and all the short songs, and I loved them.
Yeah, and I think it wasn't just the songs, it was the booklet.
Yeah.
Because pre-internet days, it wasn't as easy to get an understanding of the band. And looking through, I just idolized those photographs.
Yeah.
And my first show at the Boston Garden, there's an overhead shot of the garden in those. And I just remember, I'd been there for sporting events, but getting to be a part of it and getting to be a part of a Phish show. And I don't know. I idolized the book and the photos and the band and the whole experience too. It was all part of a bigger piece. And people can talk shit on this and say, well, now we can just get any Phish show out there, or it lacks flow because it's not exactly all from the same show. And we can discuss that as we dive into tracks a little, but this was a really hard thing for them to do. I read they created a master list of 560 songs.
Right.
And they needed to be mentioned from 2 or more band members. And then I guess they solicited fan votes at rec.music.phish as well. So that's the list I would like to have,
right.
is the 560.
Right.
We never will. But then they narrowed that to a list of 30. On the original, they just combed through and they picked their 30 tops. That's really the list I want.
Right.
And I would like a kind of a little paragraph as to why.
Right.
Because I think you and I I listened to so many goddamn songs for this, and it was so much fun. And we've heard so many great tracks going through Fall 94 so far. But I think they were choosing for clean execution, precise improvising, or the tweezer throws all that out the window in that it's the wild, insane ride in lots of different places. But I really think it to me feels like the band tried to choose what made them proud.
Yes. Bingo. I totally agree. It's about communication. It's about cleanliness. Mm-hmm. It's about not being obnoxious. I think that they knew that the compositions were overwhelming as it is, and that they should choose sort of like normal versions that still had improvisation, but a lot of these choices really reek of class. And I changed a couple because I thought they were too classy. Because I think it just depends on what you like in Phish, And I think over the years, when I've heard about their opinion of certain performances and shows, I tend to be attracted to when it skids off the rails a little bit. And I think that the band doesn't like that as much because they know they're skidding off the rails. They like it when they're like perfectly in the hose zone. And I get that. But yeah, I think they did a wonderful job. I really think it's great. I mean, I wouldn't begrudge anybody from coming in and being like, I don't want to change a thing. But
I was thinking about that for a hot minute. I was like, do I want to leave this exactly the same?
But then when I look at my, like what I've constructed, I see something like, I could take some psychedelics and not get up for 3 hours and be completely content, totally. And I've created a flow that works for my personal brain, but everybody's different,
Yeah. And I sent you that link.
Yeah.
Robert Mitchum?
Rob Mitchum. Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Rob Mitchum.
I sent you that link where he constructed his own live one that didn't have any of these tracks.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a fascinating, very well researched, very deep discussion dive, for one person to get into this. And it inspired me to dig hard.
Right.
But when I came out the other side, I realized I couldn't live with myself without having most of these tracks here.
Right.
So overall, let's break into sets or discs. Let's discuss our disc ones.
Well, real quick, I just want to talk about, since we're kind of discussing the construction of it, I think Phish is one of these bands that has a lot of songs. And lot of these songs are not on albums. Particularly at this point, I think a lot of us fans were like, why isn't Harry Hood on an album? Like, why, why aren't some of these songs on albums? So this was an opportunity to rectify that. So, when making my choices, I was kind of thinking about like what's been on what is a song that's on an album and is drastically different in concert that I want represented? What's a song that I think should be, put on wax, so to speak, and like put down in like a, I don't know. I don't want to ramble too much. I think you all
Mike's
know what
Hydrogen Weekapaw.
Yeah.
Mike's Hydrogen Weekapaw never existed.
Yeah. Right.
Still kind of doesn't,
Right.
I think the only official release would be Slip, Stitch, and Pass, and that's Mike's and Weekapaw, but there's no Hydrogen.
Right.
So it never happened.
Right.
And that's kind of cool. This band.
It is kind of cool, but I do like...
The choices are very cool.
I like having a bass version so that it kind of gives you an idea about
sure.
improvisation. Like, so if there's a bass version, then you know how far some have gone, so to speak. But
if you'd only heard the Junta, You Enjoy Myself, and then you heard this one after it, be like, whoa,
yeah,
that's a different take.
That's my story. And in fact, Yem and Foam were like my two favorite tracks off of Junta. And, by the time I got this album, I didn't have a live Yem. This was the first live Yem I had ever had, because I had like 10/31/94. I had 12/29/94. I had a 92 show with the Mike's Hydrogen Weekapaw, so I knew that. But yeah, I mean, it was all about the Yem when I got this. And I didn't even I don't even think I checked out the liner notes to figure out that it was at the Spreckle show until like a year or so later. I've been like, oh shit, that was the show that I missed, damn it. So yeah, all right, let's
I don't know that they have venues or dates in the liner notes.
Oh, okay, they probably didn't, and that's why
I think it took till the Companions came out,
right,
that we actually started to learn where they were from.
Yeah, wow, may have been 5 years later then.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so how do you want to do this? We want to talk about the whole disc? We talk about just song, let's go song to song.
Let's go back and forth.
Okay,
one person go through disc 1, and then the other person go through disc 1, and we'll see. Why don't you go first on disc 1, and then I'll go first on disc 2.
Okay, well, I'm starting off disc 1 with the Wilson from the live one. I like the energy that comes with it, with all the cheering, and the Wilson is not like a song that I feel like, oh, it's like the best song. I love Wilson. It isn't on an album. It is a classic Phish song. It's catchy. It's got chanting. And yeah, so that's why I'm sticking with Wilson. Number 1.
I like it. Also, it's got the tribute to Jack Johnson set break music in the background.
Exactly.
That's part of why. I mean, I still left it opening disc 2, but I that as set break music. I don't know. There were certain albums that Phish would play when I was seeing them a lot in the background or between sets, and that was one of them. And yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Like Charlie Hunter's his Marley album. I can't hear that without. Yeah, I can't hear it without thinking about I'm about to see a sick Phish show.
Right.
All right. So Wilson, good opener. Good call.
What are you doing? What's yours?
I am sticking with Bouncing Around the Room.
Okay.
I think this is a clean, clear, crispy Bouncing Around the Room. And what I find fascinating about both of these is they're from, 12:30 for Wilson and 12:31 for Bouncing. So they're in big arenas.
Right.
They're technically not in fall 94, but they're both big arenas, big energy nights. Bouncing on New Year's Eve, really exciting, and at the Boston Garden. And I think it's just perfectly played, clean as can be.
Yeah, no,
I think it's a nice way to open a show.
It was great. It was tough to cut it. And the only reason why I did was, well, 2 reasons: time, and number 2, I remember I loved Bouncin'. That was, one of my favorite early Phish songs. And when I listened to a live one, I was like, well, it's not that different. And so I kind of felt like, and at that time I was like, I heard Phish just jams, and I just wanted to hear jams. So I think there was a part of me that was like, it doesn't even have like a little something, but an important lesson that some songs are perfect the way they are, and it is perfect.
There is the tiny instrumental at the end where they just play the melody without singing it, which is different than the album. That's and true. It always makes me happy, but it is very subtle.
Yeah. Still a great way to open
track 2.
I'm sticking with Stash from the album, because it's perfect, and Yeah, I actually learned as I was doing research for this that this performance is on like Rolling Stone's top 100 guitar performances of all time. Or
Yes.
is that right? Is that right? Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Yeah.
Like exactly that got on there, but
Yeah.
it deservedly so.
Yeah.
And we discussed this a lot in episode 20. It's the Great Wood Stash. Just how amazing it is.
Yeah.
Really great. I love the vocal refrain halfway through, and yeah, great stash.
And it does have this sort of like classy controlled chaos aspect to it, where there are other stashes from this period that are just like, what? There's something about this one that's just kind of like, is wild, but it almost seems kind of composed too. And I think that's probably why the band chose it.
Yeah. This is the part I only added a handful of new material to this. So this is the section I added some new stuff because I felt between bouncing and stash, I wanted the set, if it's a first set of a show or first thing you're listening to roll in a little bit.
Right.
So I put the Rift from 10/29/94 from Spartanburg.
Nice.
Because I thought bouncing Rift is a really nice way to open up. That riff is absolutely smoking.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about that show a lot. Expertly played, really great solos, really high energy. And then I followed it up with the Maze from 11/2/94 in Bangor, where the tweezer is from as well.
Yeah, that's a hot one.
Because I just felt Bouncin', Rift, Maze, and then the stash.
Wow.
Made a little bit more sense.
Yeah, that's some intense shit right there, Sam.
It's intense. There is no downtime. There is after this. After this, there is some downtime. Okay. I tried to build an energy flow that was different. I think the way that a live one exists is the songs before and after the tracks we kind of get used to from listening to the album.
Right.
But I did want to create a little more of a all the way through flow.
Right.
And I really enjoy the way those flow together.
Yeah, I like it. Boy.
So I know that was 2 tracks, but that's my only new stuff on this.
Well, it was 3, I suppose. So okay, so now you want me to do 3, or I'm just gonna keep it to 1?
You can do a couple more.
Right.
Tell me where you're at after the stash.
I'll do 2 more.
Okay.
Listeners, I cannot tell you how much these next 2 choices are not going to surprise Sam at all. After stash, we're gonna go into the Simple from Halloween '94.
Oh, nice, good call. That was on my short list too.
And I really wanted I think Simple's got to be on there, and I always felt that the version on the live one was the most disappointing part of all of a live one. Once, like, I liked it at first, and I really like the song Simple, but after having heard a Simple jam, to not have a Simple jam, it just hurts. It's like, where's my, I mean, that's just like one of my favorite things in Phish. And not that
my Simple is off.
Yeah.
The Simple's off for me too.
Yeah.
And if I was going to replace it, I think this would have been one of the ones.
Yeah.
Because we talked to, it's like, it's clean, it's clear, it's a fan favorite, it's really well played, the energy is really great.
Yeah, and it's got a nice pretty section too.
Yeah, it would have been a really nice addition to the record. So I agree.
So as we kind of fade out at the end of that simple, we're going to go into the If I Could from 6/26/94. I have permission to dip into summer. Thanks for Phish creating the but I did limit it, so I'm just keeping it to that one track. But yeah, got to have my If I Could on there. Just the idea of a pristine soundboard, and just a huge ballad like that being documented on a live disc, I think would be wonderful for me. So,
and I like coming down out of the stash with that stuff too.
Right.
Having it come down a little bit is really nice.
Right. Okay.
Love it.
Cool. All right. What comes after your stash?
Basically, I just jumbled up the rest of the second disc.
Oh, okay.
So for me, it's the Yum after the stash.
Okay.
Which we discussed at Spreckles. This is such a like, you wouldn't write home about it every day, Yum, but it is a really quintessential, clean, well played, good vocal jam. I think they picked the right one. There were some really good You Enjoy Myself from this tour, and I listened to a bunch. But this one is just clean as can be. Mm-hmm. And then I put the Slave, then the Chalk Dust.
Okay.
Which I thought was kind of a cool way to go about it. That Slave is mind-blowing. I can't say enough about that Slave. It wasn't initially one of my favorites when I first got this, but it grew on me, and I would say now is possibly my single favorite track on all of Alive One. I mean, if you haven't heard it in a while, anyone listening, put on some headphones loud and close your eyes, and it is peak city. It's big as it gets. Really great. And then the Chalk Dust we covered in episode 25 from 11/16 in Ann Arbor, and big energy, just again, fantastic.
Yeah.
So great set closer, and if that was a set of music, it's dream stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Putting that Halloween simple and the if I Could from Game Hoist is making me jealous, though.
There's only so much room. It's tough.
So how are you finishing up?
Well, yeah. So here it is. It feels crazy to take the Yum off because you're right. It is perfect. It's classy. It has space. And
it meant a lot to you.
Yeah. And actually, I've been to Spreckles Theater so many times, and every time I'm there, I always just be like, man, how would it be to see that Yum here? I get it. Like, it's amazing. But I went with something different because I wanted to change the tone of the set musically. I wanted something different. So I went with the 10/29/94 Yum, which is kind of like, it's shorter, it's faster, it's funkier. It has a whole lot less Trey. And the reason why I liked it was because it doesn't have very much Trey. It's like just an absolute page for a Page Funk Fest for 94, for as funky as it can get. But for 94, it's pretty fucking funky. Yeah, and I just think it's like a really cool upbeat version, and kind of fit in with the rest of the versions that I chose. So that was the Yem that I went with. And then I
think that's a great choice.
And then I went with Chalky, the Chalky from Alive one, super high energy. And the way it kind of went out of the vocal jam into the Chalky definitely worked. And
I think that's great.
And then I went with the Coil, and the Coil from disc 2, which is perfect.
Oh, and that fits because you pulled the Yem out. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, Wilson Stash, Simple, If I Could, Yem, Chalky, Coil. There it is.
Huh.
Disc 1.
I was tempted to drop this Chalk Dust Torture and add the 61894 as well. But because that one is so smoking, I was like, I'm going to stay away from the summer. I didn't want to make my job harder. But
yeah.
God, that's like my favorite Chalk
Yeah,
Dust
me
Torture
too. Just
ever.
like that one, and then the 8993 with the Who Knows. Oh man, the way that fits in there is so perfect. But you're right, the energy of the 618 is like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But it's kind of intricately tied in with the Yem too.
It's got all those teases as well. Like I think they were trying to stay away from teases.
Right.
Like Zeppelin teases or Hendrix teases. Like they don't want that in this.
And I did that too, didn't you?
This type of recording. Yeah, I there's so many great Fall 94 versions of songs that are segued into or out of something.
Right.
Or they drop a song inside a song, and I did try and stay away from those. Because I think the band chose that as well.
Right.
Make them single pieces.
Yeah. I really wanted to get a Down with Disease on here, and I listened to a whole bunch, but just none of them spoke to me. None of the Down with Diseases were like, I need to be on a live one. And I wonder if that's how the band felt about it too, because I bet they were really proud of that song. So
I wanted to shoehorn an Antelope in there real bad too, and I just couldn't find the right one.
Yeah.
I mean, the show we just did, our last episode, was that Antelope was fucking smoking.
Yeah.
And if they hadn't gone into the My Sweet One and the Fixin' to Die, I think if they finished that Antelope up, it would have made this.
Right.
If it was like a nice tight finish, because that one was incredible.
Yeah.
So it didn't make it. And then moving on to disc 2, which I have opening with the Wilson. Right where it is already.
Right.
Opening both discs the same way.
Okay. So
if you move the Wilson, what do you have open in disc 2?
This is my surprise pick. I'm going Buried Alive from 1122.
Oh. I love that.
The show opener from 1122. Because I think Buried Alive is just a brilliant composition. It's a smoking version. It's quick. It shows like a different style of music that they play.
So much energy.
Yeah, and just like a great little upbeat opener.
And a set 2 opener that you would hear in this time period.
Yeah.
And not represented on any album, I believe.
No, not.
Well.
Yeah, that was a big part of my decision.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And then I go Wilson to Tweezer.
Of course.
Because there were a lot of those 1-2 punches at this time in Phish where, you come out with a big set opener, get everyone back in their seats, get everyone fired up, and then it's kind of heavy hitter in the 2 spot. And the 31 minutes of this Tweezer is heavy as it gets.
Yeah. In fact, I listened to the Tweezer and took prodigious notes to just defend my reasoning for putting it on. I'm just like you. I wouldn't dare take it off.
So many good Tweezers from Fall 94, though. Like it is the jam vehicle of the fall.
Yeah.
By far.
I have 3.5 pages of notes, though.
Oh, good. Get at me.
I don't even think I want to bring it up, but I felt compelled to just like make a note like every 45 seconds. I was just like, Man, I gotta note that.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, it could be small essay for sure. Just on. I mean, it's as long as some albums.
Yeah.
31 minutes is long.
Yeah, there's a lot happening. But I did have a little transition before Tweezer. I am going to be requiring an engineer to help me with the fade here, but I do think it can be done. I would like to have the NICU from 12/1/94, which is short but has just a brilliant solo by Trey at the end, and it goes into Tweezer, so it segues into the second Tweezer of 12/1. But I listened to it a number of times, and I think it can be done. I really think it can be. You shave like 2.5 seconds off of the NICU, and it just kind of fades right into the Tweezer, and I think we're good. And if you do dance, NICU, then you will be the nothing. And another song
like that
that's
idea.
not represented on album.
Buried Alive NICU. That's an interesting set 2 opener.
Yeah, it would.
I like it.
It would be a surprise. I tried to make this not universal, but very Ian-ish.
Well, they kind of do that with the Squirming Coil from this set too.
Right there.
Because it's actually 2 different Squirming Coils.
Right.
Which we'll discuss later as I get to that. But yeah, I think it's doable.
Okay, good.
But I don't know. I mean, if they're trying to grab, I just to be the devil's advocate for the band and their choice, if they're attempting to grab not a mainstream audience, but be like, this is our first live recording, we want to show what we can do, I think the Tweezer has to do a lot of the heavy lifting of the weirdness in the set.
Right.
And I think both Buried Alive and NICU are kind of odd. I don't know if you noticed too, they stayed away from a lot of songs with very strange lyrics.
Sure. Okay. I didn't notice that.
Because they kind of got beat over the head with that in their career. Like, this band's really cool, but like, what are these weird ass lyrics about? This doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Like when they were making Hoist, I think that they re-recorded Axilla, where they called it Axilla Part 2.
Right.
Because the original Axilla lyrics, Axilla 1, are really not good.
The Witch in the Ditch.
I mean, insulting to Tom Marshall. They're very strange and turn to face the furry thugs. Like, just every line is very strange. Whereas I love Axilla Part 2, and that was one of my favorite songs on Hoist.
Right.
So I think that at that time in their career, 94-ish, they were trying to shrug off some of that.
Right. Well, yeah, now that you mention it, I do feel like I'm doing a disservice to Phish, but I'm gonna hold on to it just because.
No, stay with it. I'm just being a devil's advocate.
Because it is one of those songs that it's like, if I don't hear it every 6 months, I gotta do it. It's in there. I was like, I'm sure all fans have this moment where you just hear this weird one performance of a song and it just happened at the right time and your brain was in the right space. And like that movie Inside Out, like it made like a permanent memory ball in your brain. And I have this very specific memory of listening to 12-1 and that it was the Makasupa with the Supertramp Bloody Well Right tease.
Bloody Well Right.
With Page Twin. It's really subtle and it's like in the background. And I remember it on the audience and just like, did I just hear Paige say Bloody Well Right? And I had to like rewind it and hear it. And then it went into this NICU and I was just like, oh my God, I think this might be my favorite show of all time.
And then the tweezer. It's great. And I mean, one of those memory balls for me exists with this tweezer when we lived in our house together with Matt D the first time we lived together.
Yeah.
My 21st birthday party.
Right, exactly.
In the sunken living room. And about 24 minutes into the tweezer, that the circusy jam, like that, it broke me that night. Like I'd heard this tweezer many times, but that was the right frame of mind and the right moment. And was really something else.
Yeah, I think that in terms of living room music listening, because I don't want to compare music, listening in a living room and a concert, that tweezer is the high point of my life in terms of listening that moment at your birthday party. Because when I first heard that tweezer, I didn't understand it. It sounded like noise to me. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I think I need to have somebody explain this to me, or just like, I don't get it because it just sounds like noise. And it's crazy saying that, having just listened to it the other night and just like, I hear every nuance and all the melodies and just, but at first it was just too impenetrable. And that was the night when it all clicked. And not only did it click, but I had my eyes closed the whole time and I was having these like animation hallucinations of like be like flying through these like tunnels in like ancient France and Italy and all this like like weaving. I mean, it was the craziest visual hallucinations I've ever had. And it was to the point where I remember thinking while I was having it, if I could somehow go into animation and take what I'm seeing in my head and get it down so other people could see it, like, that would be my life's work. And then when it was all over, I realized, well, there's no way you're ever going to be able to do that. So just hold on to the memory. But yeah, I do always have that memory and I can still like see some of that imagery. And that's what's so powerful about that tweezer is it's not just music, but it tells a story with sound.
Yeah. And those are the switches when your brain flips them and learns how to flip them. Those are the ones that you realize your life's work is going to be painting those images in your head forever.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes you can get them out and sometimes they'll become a visual or auditory representation of something later in your life. But what they picture in your head is who you are and like how they draw those things inside those memories for you and the ease with which you can access them. I'll be in a social setting and hear at a restaurant, eating dinner and hear something in the background and be able to go there in my brain.
Right.
And it's good and bad sometimes. But that tweezer was a groundbreaker for me, and it should be for everybody at some point.
Yeah. All right. So
that's a good one to put on at a bar if you find a jukebox too. That's your money's worth, and everyone's gonna hate you. It's perfect.
I've seen people tweet that before. At a bar, just put on Tweezer Live 1. Everybody's yelling at me. And I actually did that. I don't know if you remember my buddy Kevin Doherty. We worked at Sports City Bar and Grill, La Jolla, California. And they had one of those jukeboxes. And we had Live 1 on there. And we used to play the Tweezer. And we had people yell at us. Like, I remember I had a bartender, got red in the face, pissed. Like, unplug it! Start it over! This is unacceptable! And yeah, it brought me so much joy to do that. God, what a dick I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Good old tweezer.
All right, so moving on from tweezer, I go straight to the Gainesville hood.
Me too.
The perfect post-tweezer moment.
Yeah.
I mean, those two together.
Yeah.
And we've discussed at length that this hood is the hood.
Right.
It should be there. It's the one. It's the double build. The all toms Fishman drum section. This one got me right away too. I have the bubble memory of driving my little shitty Volkswagen Jetta down Route 89, heading to Hopkinton, New Hampshire, and blasting this all the way, and then instantly stopping it and skipping back, and then fast forwarding to the beginning of the jam and doing it again.
Right.
Because once wasn't enough. It's the hood.
Yeah, this is perfect. I will say this is a perfect version of Hood. And the only other one that should be considered is 1020, but as we've established before, it's too weird for a live one. But I'm not embarrassed to admit that I don't think that Hood clicked with me until I saw it live. Can I say that? I didn't dislike it. I didn't.
It's a safe space.
But I loved Slave when I got this. I loved Slave. But for some reason the Hood just I don't know what it was about it. Maybe it was the compose section that I hadn't quite figured out yet. But then when we saw it in Vegas 96, I was just like, okay, this is my jam.
Yeah.
I get it.
That was great too.
Yeah.
And then I like the vibe of sticking with a show, 2 songs together. So I follow the Hood up with the Squirming Coil, but I would put the entire 1023 version as opposed to what they do is the 10-9 version up till the piano solo.
Right.
And then the piano solos from 1023. But I think I listened to them back to back a couple times, and I think the 1023 full band section of the jam prior to the piano solo is superior. And I also think that the execution of the song was just fine.
Yeah.
mean, maybe this was a 50-50 band split where two band members said we love the composed section so much from 10-9.
Right.
And then the other two were like, we think the 10-23 is fine. We just like the outro more. And so they kind of smushed them. But
Right.
I would make it all 10-23.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
It's the encore from that show. It's kind of closing the set for me at this show. If this was a second set. So it works really well in that spot for me.
Yeah. I'm not totally sure what I want to do here now that I'm kind of like, I'm a little stuck. But this is what I have. I have Following the Hood. I have Slave. I have a different Slave.
Okay.
But is it okay to put have a Slave after Hood? Do I need to switch the coil and have coil after Hood and then put the Slave at the beginning? This doesn't matter. Don't bother yourself with this.
You do have two back-to-back if it's the Hood and the Slave.
Yeah.
You do kind of have two back-to-back, like 3-chord, slow build, two huge majestic peak songs.
Yeah, I think I might want to move the Slave to the end of the first disc and then put the coil.
Sure.
And then I'll move the coil to the end. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I think
so. You're kind of going to the way the band did it.
Yeah. But what I did want to do that was very important to me, to finish off the disc, which will be post coil, is it was very important to me to have the Tweezer reprise from 12/30/94. Because
like it.
as a newbie, I always loved the reprise more than the original Tweezer. And I think to be able to have them both on the disc, and I just love that the bookend, and I love the way they play it in a different style. So yeah, that's how I want to end it.
See, I thought I had three things that I was going to end it with. It was the exact same of doing a Tweezer reprise and finding a way to make that work. But then I realized that it makes sense at the show, but again, it pulled away from what the band originally wanted. So my second thought was maybe just a sneaky Amazing Grace a cappella, but then that's another cover song and the band doesn't want to do covers. Right. So what I went with was, I thought earlier, and we discussed this on the pod, I don't want to say that. You and I have discussed this on our podcast. Having the gumbo on there, which I dropped, was something that we both agreed was cool because the horns. Right. And I think it showcased Phish with horns. There's a picture of them with the horns inside the album. Right. And this began my lifelong dream of seeing a horn show, which I never have and probably never will. Me too, yeah. So what I did is I put the Julius from 12/3/94 in San Jose as the closer.
Oh man, that's so perfect. Because you know what? I wanted to do a Buried Alive with horns. And so I listened to the 12/2 and the 12/3, but they were both just absolute slop fests. I mean, they had moments, but you're just like, you guys need more practice with this one.
Oh no, this Julius is great. Everyone's taking solos. It's a real rousing, energetic way to end the show. Yep. They were really proud of Julius in 94. It showcases the horns. It's a great way to kind of close off the disc, and if I was to say a song from this was going to make the radio, then it would be Bouncin' or This Julius.
Right.
I think they could do a radio edit of the Julius, cut it down a few minutes, and make it like a radio thing.
Yeah.
Like if they were trying to get radio play.
Right.
I think it could do well.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think also making sure there was set break in and out music on everything would have been cool.
Yeah.
I would have liked that a lot. Like the Jack Johnson, but even more of that would have been cool.
Right.
I mean, I will never forget the Rocket Man that was after 12/30/96 at Boston Garden.
Right.
Like post show, everyone's just floppy in their seats, like sweating, and then Rocket Man comes on. Like there's those little moments where it's just a few notes of it, enough to where they don't get sued.
Right. Well, I love your ending for Julius. That's great. That's so funny. We were totally on the same page of just being like, I gotta get some. I don't want the gumbo, but I gotta get some horns on there.
Well, it doesn't feel right to have a coil end it or to have Slave to the Traffic Light end it.
Right.
You gotta, like, Phish always tacks on a little, like, here's one for the road.
Right.
I thought that was a strange choice with both discs, but especially the second disc. I don't know.
So I do have room to toss the Julius after the chalky pre-coil. Just joking around.
Or you could do Julius Tweezer Reprise, you know? Like, that's always an option, too.
Totally. But that was...
Which would be a 2-song encore. It could be really nice.
Yeah, you're right. Let's do that.
So there's a lot of suggestions. This is part of why I wish we had a lot of, like a message board of some sort. So we just got a shitload of people throwing up theirs.
Right.
And we could all kind of critique and go listen to more Phish, because that's what this is all about.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, my list of what I listened to here to get to my final choices, I mean, it was massive. And there's so many good foams. There's so many good split open and melts, possums, Bowies. There was, Rebas that were really great, and none of these made the cut.
Yeah. You know what?
And none of them are on there.
I do see here that I didn't mention which slave I put on here. And it's the 1117 version.
Oh.
And it does have a massive build. And to be fair, Sam, I did listen to the live one slave twice. And I listened to this slave 3 times because I wanted to make sure that I was making a wise decision. But I think the reason why I did it was because this slave has a lot of, it's perfect. It has a lot of space. It has a lot of beautiful space, which is why I totally understand why the band likes it.
Yeah.
But I think that this one was a little bit more raucous, more sound effects, some sounds that I hadn't heard on other jams on the disc. And I like the idea of trying to incorporate as many different Fishes as possible.
Well, this was fun.
Yeah. What else? What else can we say?
I don't know. I don't think we get to do this again. I don't think the band ever did this again, and I don't think we get to do this exact type of minisode again. I mean, there's no reason to do it for Slip, Stitch, and Pass, which is technically their next live record, right?
Yeah, I think that one...
Which is all from one show, and I just wish they released that whole show. But yeah,
it was a real shame the way we ended up getting that show on soundboard or whatever recording it was, a Matrix. We got it like a year after that show was released, and it sounded like twice as good as the official recording. And I was like, what the fuck? Why?
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool they did it.
What's that? It was cool they did it, but I still, again,
single disc.
Odd choice. I like the Wolfmans, but the rest of it, I thought, like if you're choosing from that time period, you could have done so much better. But
and they were bumping up against the beginning of streaming then, anyway.
Yeah.
So music was about to change.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a weird, the record company wanted to make as much money from every CD they could. So they're like, hey, I put together one disc.
Right.
Squish it down to one disc. Yeah. And the band's like, all right, fuck it. Sure. Just make it happen. We're almost to streaming.
Right.
And once we hit streaming, like everything's going to change. So it did. I don't know.
God, it took me a lot longer to start streaming. I needed another decade to get off the hard media, and I'm still a little bit on hard media. So
yeah, I just access, I should say, not streaming, access.
Yeah,
access became very easy. The internet became predominant, and
we could get shows.
Yeah, 97, 98, it just became easy.
Right.
Easier. My 7-year-old pointed at a picture of a cassette tape the other day and goes, "Dad, what's that?" It's like a cartoon drawing of a cassette tape. So yeah, I mean, it's Lightspeed now, but
it really is.
This was all we had at one time, and it was life-changing. And if it was not to change and always stay the same, I'd have no problems with it.
Right.
But if the band was to recreate or put out a new version of it every year for its anniversary with a different track list and a different organization, and I would love that too.
Right.
If they picked a random fan and said, design me a new live one every year and put it out on the same release date, that'd be sick.
That would be sick.
I see two guys here who are interested in doing that. And then, they could just remaster those tracks. It would just be a few. And then every year, just stream it, put it out.
Yeah. I think you're onto a great idea here. I hope somebody's listening.
Yeah, someone's gotta hire us at some point. Like I said, my knees are only going to last so long doing what I do. So
body's giving out. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Well, do we have...
We're going to have the memory balls forever, though. So we'll be all set.
Anything we want to recommend or anything else we want to discuss?
I don't know. Everyone should be hyped on our next episode. I'm really looking forward to Providence. I mean, there's some stuff from that show that's good. I'm hoping there's more than just the Bowie. I remember there being more than just the Bowie.
Oh, there is. Yeah.
So it's going to be a great way to close out 94. But I think that's it. I think, again, lots of good TV happening these days.
Yeah.
There's some good music starting to creep out. I feel like the post-winter music scene is kind of bland.
Mm-hmm.
Phish is just releasing more dates.
Yes, they are.
I might actually, I don't know, I'm debating going to see an MSG show with my brother.
Oh, that'll be fun.
I get a place to stay.
Yeah.
I'll probably be able to just take the train down real quick on a day I'm off.
Do it.
I haven't been to the Garden in a long time. And it would be, it's rare that I feel like seeing them, but, I guess I just kind of miss them. And I miss going, and I miss being there, and the lights and the anticipation and the volume and just all of it. So
always a great time.
We'll see.
Always a great time. And the vocals don't bother you as much when you're in the venue. At least they don't bother me. As much.
Nothing bothers me as much if I'm in the venue. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I got.
That's it.
I've just been listening to a lot of 94 Phish. Just blowing my ears out.
It's going to be weird moving on, but I think we're ready. 95 and 96 are going to be quicker, but very fun years. I'm ready for the big transition.
I've listened to that Bowie from 1229 so many times. I can like hear it in my head. I don't even have to listen to it anymore. I can hear the whole like slave like jam in it. Like I know all the parts. Yeah, I think that's the one. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun. That's gonna be a fun discussion. I'll try and have 3 pages of notes on the Bowie as well.
Well, I'd like just a straight recitation as well. That would be good.
All right. Well, that was a great chat, Sam. And
yeah, likewise.
Goodbye to everybody out in listening land. Be well. Enjoy the trees.
Yeah.
Enjoy the.
We will see you on. Oh my God, what episode are we on? Is it 28?
It's 28
next time. Yeah. Jesus, we'll see you for episode 28 in Providence.
I hope we make it. All right.
Good night, everybody. Hello there, friends, and thank you for listening. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or would like to reach out to Ian and I about anything at all, you can find us at companion2thecompanion@gmail.com.